introduce briefly actually the vertical farming team. I won't give you a whole introduction about vertical farming itself, but about what our goals, aim, who we are, where we come from, and what we would like to achieve. So the vertical farming actually, as has been said, stems from the Global Food Security Priority Group, who gave us 10K actually to jumpstart our program. We started 12 months ago. Chengui and myself, we put a proposal and that was accepted, so we try to attract other academics to work with us across many different disciplines. And we started by having 6 master students who worked on very specific subjects to give us a good background to see how we could take that forward. We already had 1 seminar with Dixon, who came over on a Saturday afternoon in mid-July, and the room was full, so it was very successful. And we come today to this workshop, and we have a lot of interest in interacting beyond the fundamental research. We also have a lot of interest to interact with industries, and of course we are looking for more funding. So our goals really, I think, was to bring mainly engineering and bioscience together to look at the control environment, to assess the potential of vertical farming itself, and potentially resolve and improve the solutions that are out there. The other aspects that we are interested in as well are the social and economical aspects, to integrate actually a vertical farming within the city. So that's probably more people in geography and human science, to see how you can grow another urban agriculture around a vertical farm that do not need necessarily to be a tall building, but a building, a controlled space within a city that interacts with the people, the businesses around it. It's quite important. And the ethic aspect as well, specifically when you are looking at rearing stock, if that is possible, fish, pigs or others. As I mentioned, we would like to reinforce our link with the industry and transfer the knowledge that would come out. So the team is led by Dr. Chengui. Myself, I'm more the person who try to have contact with industries. I come from the Environmental Technology Center, and we already work with a lot of companies for the university. We have Professor Mark Gillett from the Built Environments, Dr. Arthur Williams in electrical engineering, who is looking at lighting and controls, Eric Murchie in plant sciences. There's a lot of things into photosynthesis, I think. Yes. And we work also with RAM, Professor Rama Krishnan, who is from the business school, and look at, sorry, what is it? I think is interested in the socio-economical impacts and of issues around vertical farming. He's a professor in operation management at the University of Bedfordshire Business School. So the context of vertical farming, a lot of have been said already. 7 million today, 9.2 million to feed in 2050. Need for increase just in water, which I think is quite fundamental. Water in agriculture, because especially in horticulture, we import quite a lot of fruit and vegetables from abroad and from regions where they don't necessarily have water. And what we do actually to the environment, our own consumption, and to those people, is actually we import a lot of water, considering that you need probably 1,000 or 1,500 liters per kilograms of product to be used over there, just to satisfy our demands. So water is quite crucial, I think. Of course, there's other drivers such as the rising income in overall, which increasing protein demand and need. The cost driver, demand for natural resources, the pressure of climate change as well, and the energy consumption. I had a discussion with Philippe here, where we won't be able, as we said, to keep actually throwing energy and more inputs into our agriculture to meet the demand. And we think that there is a market solution to it. You know, there is some resource pressure, all sorts of price which stimulates probably investment in those vertical farms so that we can feed cities from within. Innovation in agro-food system has been high, as we've seen, and high growth of the total factor of productivity in agriculture has been even higher in manufacturing, because in 40 years we managed to double the output. However, that's been done with increasing a lot of the inputs that we, in terms of fertilizer and others. And what I think we would like to do is to try to reduce that and look specifically at minimizing the input and keep the yield going up, so to be more efficient. So productivity growth is mainly through what's called modern agriculture, so more technology and probably less fertilizers and less energy used. The vertical farming, so we see it as a modern and sustainable agriculture. So it's to have a sustainable increase in yield, new technology to increase productivity. We want to produce sustainable intensification of agriculture. And we think that vertical farming will be one part of those new technology to offer new perspectives. And obviously linking also the vertical farm to the city itself, the workplace, and the impact that a vertical farm could have in terms of regeneration of cities and on jobs creation within the city, to create also higher skilled jobs to work and interest people to come back to horticulture and agriculture in general. So that's the slide that summarizes everything of what we want to do. It's optimizing the resources, land, water, nutrients, waste, heat, energy, and optimizing the output. One of the resources that we should look really at is the water problem. Optimizing the resource and the output, and we discussed that in Yorkshire as Stockbridge Technical Centre. It's not only the yield, people there, the growers, were also very interested in the quality of the product, taste, and the diet as well, diversification of the diet, and the safety, because when you start to have an enclosed system where you have plants that are grown, you may find that there is some trap there not to fall into in terms of pathogens and others, biological, or probably the chemical one which is mentioned here might not be so, because in an ecosystem you can control much more, so the use of pesticides might be a bit less. So is it, when we talk about vertical farming, people often say it's a bit a crazy idea to grow things within a purpose-built environment. So is it really feasible? And I think if you look at it not only from those very nice architectural designs that are a bit out of space really, but you look at what is happening in the world. There's 8 million individuals that are actually practicing urban farming around the world, and there's 200 million that actually take their products to the market. So there is already an economic activity around urban farming. And what we would do as vertical farming is to probably bring more technology to what they are doing. And that probably the way where they would like to start is to work with those people and bring our knowledge, horticultural knowledge and technical knowledge and engineering knowledge to those people to start to actually produce food in town. As I mentioned, opportunity for a city generation program. Here in Nottingham we have identified, I think, two sites, and probably Mark will talk of one of them, which is the British waterways that could be regenerated, and I think Mark will have talked to those people to see if it was possible to have a greenhouse integrated within the refurbishment of this building. And another one which is standing alone for probably 5 or 6 years, and it's a very nice 20-story building that is on top of a hill, south-facing, where you could potentially bring a glass house or a ETFE house next to it and actually integrate building, living, and food production at the same time. So the current focus of the team is specifically on resource optimization and advanced technology to promote this increase in production and productivity. And it's to minimize, obviously, the energy consumption, which within a building is quite a challenge in terms of lighting and in terms of heating and moving things around, especially if you have a tall building where you need to pump water at the top. It's quite expensive energy-wise. And we also look at engaging with businesses and with other research institutes to try to develop that forward. So, teams activities, I've introduced that already. That was actually Dixon at our event in Nottingham. And the master student have produced a number of posters and output that have been displayed around the university at different occasions. And you can see the variety actually of work that's already been done in terms of design, in terms of LED control, photosynthesis, supply chain, and a very difficult one that was to look at a mini LCA of a vertical farm. But there's so many things to take into account that it was quite difficult, very challenging. So that was all the posters that actually during our impact campaign was displayed. And of course we would like to have some more industrial involvement, hence this workshop or this conference today. We are lucky to have many businesses coming up to talk with us about future projects and attract future collaborative project and funding. What we already realized also that we are working with partners in China, and some things are happening over there. And we have some funding application in the pipeline with the ESRC to try to carry on what we are doing, and we're looking forward as well for the next FP7 in July. So if there is any partners here, and if you have other European partner, please do come to talk to us, and that would be also, I think, around resource efficiency. I would like also to talk about a little competition that we set up for you. You can see that in your pack you have some seeds. So the first person who, they're legal, they don't come from Amsterdam, you can grow them. The first person who can send us actually 3 pictures of different stages of whatever the plant is, I won't tell you.
Secret.
It's a secret. We will send you actually a signed copy of Dixon's book on vertical farm. So just send it at the address, which is I think info@vtf.org.uk.
Yeah.
Oh, it's here. So that's the one. Signed?
No, not yet.
Not yet. It will be signed. He said yes. So get wild, and you are actually allowed to use LEDs and all sorts of technology to make it go faster. That's not cheating in our context. You can do that. So thank you very much.
Gerald, thank you very much for giving us a bit of a backdrop to the main theme of today. Are there any questions?
Thanks for your presentation. You showed your, I think, was it Bedford Road site, the high rise on top of the hill? South
Yes.
What's stopping you actually getting on and doing it?
Money, expertise probably as well. I think the building itself and the site is not that expensive. they're looking for 2 to 2.5 million. But the refurbishment of this building hasn't been occupied for, I don't know, there were some days, for a very, very long time. I mean, to refurbish that kind of building, that would require a lot of money. And originally, when I contacted them, they said okay, and actually we don't have to pay for it, but they wanted to lease it to the university, so we refurbished, we find the money to do it all, but we wouldn't own anything at the end, so I didn't even dare propose anything to anybody.
And it's council owned, is it?
No, it's privately owned, yeah.
So it's good as Brave. John McDonald from ECO is a community organisation based in Nottingham, but we've been working on a business plan for a smaller vertical farm site in Nottingham, but actually have been successful in securing routes to funding. And that project would fit beautifully, and we could also obviously work with the community in sort of taking that.
Well, you can come and talk to Mark or myself.
Brilliant.
Yeah, please do. If we can do something like that, that'd be really fantastic. Because for the university and for the city of Nottingham working together to bring up even a smaller project as a showcase, that would be really, really fantastic.
Just a quick one. You mentioned a demonstration faculty. I guess you meant facility on one of your slides. Does that exist, or is it to be prepared?
Demonstration facility.
Well, faculty. Was it demonstration faculty that faculty looked right? So, it's close to the end.
Totally, yeah.
Is it? Maybe. Demonstration faculty. Facility.
Facility, yes.
Yeah. Where is the demonstration facility?
Well, there is none, and that's what we would like to create, really. I think that was linked to the question about horticulture and Sutton Bonington, and to have a large facility that would look into that. Because obviously, when you have a control environment, you can play with a lot of things.